I'm going to call this meeting to order. Does Jackie record attendance? Just wondering. Okay. All right, let's do the flag salute. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, is there a motion to approve or amend the meeting agenda?
Well, I move that we approve the agenda.
Did you want to suggest a change?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So the motion is to amend the agenda?
No, first we have to say that I move to approve the agenda, and then we're, is there any discussion? And then that's when I say that. So, I hear that you said that, and, yeah, I move that we amend the agenda to move the Sand Hill presentation up, to the beginning,
After public comment?
after public comment, yes?
Okay. Is there a second to amend the meeting agenda so that the Sand Hill presentation is after public comments?
I'll second.
All right. Any discussion? Okay. Student Representative Thomas, your advisory vote? Do you vote?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. Board members, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, that unanimously passes. Okay. Moving on to public comments. Jackie, do we have any signups?
No.
All right, so we will have our Sand Hill presentation because I understand we have some phenomenal basketball players that have to go win against Chico. So come on up.
Okay. Hi, board. My name is Jessica Collins, and I am the proud principal of Sand Hill Elementary. And tonight I'm especially proud because I have some amazing learners here from our leadership crew that are here to present to you why leadership at Sand Hill is so fantastic, all the great things that they've already done and they plan on doing to make our building amazing. And I truly, truly am so proud of them. So, are you guys ready? They also have some advisors that I'm very proud of as well. This year at Sand Hill, we decided at year 2 going in that we had a bigger capacity and we wanted to grow some things. And one of those things we wanted to grow was getting our kids more involved in what was going on in the building, giving them a voice, giving them opportunity to use their voices, and they've been doing so, and they've been doing fantastic. We had 2 great people step up and say, I'll help them, and they've been doing awesome. Do you guys meet twice a week?
Twice a month.
Twice a month. Oof. Blew that. See, I told you I screw up all the time. Yeah, so twice a month, and they come in the mornings, and they've made all kinds of plans for the year and already executed some great things. So I'm going to turn it over to our leaders. They can introduce themselves. And obviously, this is Mr. Lundy, my sidekick. He's great. Assistant principal. Okay, go for it.
All right. So before the girls start, I'm Allie Stoltz. I'm the school counselor at Sand Hill. And I'm Grace Mikowski, a kindergarten teacher at Sand Hill. And I just wanted to say, I used to be a student school board member, so this is so fun for me to be back in here. And I also have great memories. I was a bulldog, bred a bulldog, and now it's so amazing to be able to bring some leadership from the high school, all the things that I learned there, into Sand Hill. So they're kids. Yeah, thank you. Give them grace. You guys are going to do great. You want to say your names? Yeah. You got it.
My name is Naomi Hernandez Francisco, and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Chloe Hickson, and I'm in 5th grade. My name is Annabelle Patrick, and I'm in 5th grade. Sand Hill Elementary School Leadership Club. Becoming a leader. Students in 4th and 5th grades sign up to join the leadership club. We filled out a form, agreed to club rules, and answered some questions about why we wanted to be a part of the leadership team.
Leadership requirements. To join the leadership club, students will need to do these things: go to school regularly and be on time for meetings, stay out of big trouble while in the club, have less than 3 small incidents at school during club time, be respectful, responsible, safe, and kind.
Meetings. The leadership club meetings before school on 2 Tuesdays each month with some minor adjustments for breaks. Meetings begin at 8:30 a.m. There is a total of 16 meetings. Club mission and values. Promoting leadership. Our club helps kids become leaders by being respectful, kind, and proud of their school. We make sure everyone has a say in making our school a better place. Learning to lead. Kids in the club get better at talking to others, solving problems, and working together by planning fun activities and leading projects. Everyone is welcome. We make sure everyone feels included and encourage them to join in fun events like Spirit Week assemblies and helping out the community.
Goals. Lead. Learn, empower, act, develop. Elementary leadership program. Encourage leadership, responsibility, and kindness. Promote teamwork, talking, and trying new things. Give students chances to be leaders in ways that are just right for their age.
Activities and projects. In school leadership projects, participate in assemblies, plan Spirit Weeks, kindness and well-being projects, Random Acts of Kindness Week, kindness boards and posters, school improvement projects, hallway pride, cleanup days, public speaking and visual projects, goal setting, team challenges, talent shows, spelling bee. Filled in for morning announcements.
Station leaders at PBIS reteach.
Lead Cougar saying at assemblies. How Leadership Club helps our school. Building school spirit. Fun Spirit Weeks and exciting assemblies bring everyone together, making school a happier place and inviting everyone to join in. Promoting kindness and respect. Kindness activities help everyone be more understanding, cut down on bullying, and friendship stronger. Developing leadership. By working on leadership projects and practicing public speaking, students become more confident and learn to take responsibilities. Supporting a positive school culture. Our club promotes teamwork and encourages positive behavior that aligns with our school goals and for a great environment. Thank you.
Go win.
Right? All right, so now we're going to student board member comments. Student Representative Thomas, do you have anything to report or share?
Not have anything as of this moment.
All right, we can circle back towards the end. Something comes up. All right, so is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll
Any discussion? I just want to say I'm really encouraged by the course proposals that we have, Dr. Michael. I think we're doing a fantastic job at the high school with bringing in more college and the high school courses for our students. So I'm really glad that your building administrators and teaching staff are partnering with Central Washington to bring this opportunity to our students. So
We are
thank you.
excited about that as well.
Okay. All right. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda as presented, Student Representative Thomas, what is your advisory vote? All right. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda as presented, say aye. 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 Okay. All right, so now we move on to our superintendent update.
So I wanted to talk to the board about some of the work that we've been doing at the cabinet level and with the leadership team. We have done a lot of budget analysis and a lot of number crunching, but we have come to the conclusion that we do need to bring a recommendation to the board in the future meeting to put a levy back on for EPNL. With only having basic education funding, the number of programs and the number of staff that would be required to be cut, I think would be devastating blow to the district. Without that levy funding, being able to fund things like athletics and band and drama, not to mention just some staffing for enrollment size, is really quite bleak. And in my experience, when you have to start cutting major programs like that for students, they often will look for opportunities outside of the district, which then just contributes to lesser money being brought in because of lesser number of student body. The Levy Community Committee is meeting on Wednesday, and so I'm expecting that they will have some feedback regarding the number of years, recommendation, the amount. But at this point, we are looking at bringing back the same request as what we've had in November and previous February, which is the $5.5 million a year to continue to fund everything from just maintaining our technology and facilities to having the staff and the programs that we think that our students really need and deserve to have a well-rounded experience. So I'm hoping that we can, at one of our upcoming meetings, the committee and I can come forward with a recommendation for the board to consider. The timing to go on the ballot again is required that everything is turned in by the end of February 27th, I think, to be exact. So my recommendation is that we explore this topic further at a special meeting in early February to provide a little bit of time to get all the paperwork into the state and the county that is necessary. Like I said, we have been literally like squeezing every dollar, looking at under every rock to see what can we do without. And I will be sharing at the February board meeting that some cuts that we will be making, whether the levy passes or not. Reprioritizing some of the costs away from some of the administrative cost and moving it to positions that we think will support the students better. And so we want to be able to share with the community exactly what those dollars will go for. And as part of that process, also forming a budget advisory committee for the levy so that they can check in with us regularly and help make sure that the community and everybody feels that we are being accountable and good fiscal agents for their very hard-earned dollars. I know that nobody really has a lot of extra squeeze in their budgets, and so this is a big ask for the community, but I do believe that it is essential to keep us going on the trajectory that we are. We have a lot of plans coming up to kind of, what I would say, move us into the future, and doing that with even less money than we have now would be really difficult. But I'd be happy to try to answer questions at this time or know that we'll be coming forward with much more information coming up.
I had a question. I'm not sure that this is a proper venue, and I apologize if it is not. I've heard just from some of the staff that are aware of, you know, this is kind of the time where I know a lot of our neighboring districts are hiring already for next year. And we have staff that are like, where will cuts be? Do I need to start looking for my next home already, et cetera? Is there any plan or have conversations already occurred with some of the staff that may be affected, or will that be more in the February timeframe?
That will happen in the February timeframe.
Okay.
Our goal is to be as proactive communicating with the staff as soon as possible, knowing that even though we would love to keep them, perhaps we cannot, financially afford to keep them, and we want to give them the opportunity to find an opportunity elsewhere, and not hanging out there wondering what's happening.
Yeah.
It's a very moving target,
It's a
but
tenuous
yes.
balance, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, absolutely. We want the same thing with any of the positions, teachers, classified, administrators. We want to be as forthcoming as we possibly can, as soon as we possibly can.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
You may have covered this before. How are you going to form the budget advisory committee?
I will be putting out a request for applicants, similar to the ambassador program, where anybody in the community or anybody who has a student in the district is welcome to apply. We'll provide the schedule ahead of time so they can make sure that it fits in with their work and family obligations, and then hope that we get some people that would like to come do some extra work with us in the evenings. Mhm.
Any other thoughts, questions?
Thank you. Do you want me to say anything about the legislative update now, or would you like me to save that for later?
Oh, boy.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. Did you want to talk about the PLU?
Oh, there we go. Oh, yes, and I also apparently forgot that I have a proclamation to read
Oh.
for School Board Appreciation Month. I will state that it is a very long proclamation with a lot of very fancy words, but this is just the opportunity to recognize the school board for their unpaid service and their hours of dedication to our district and to our community. And we would love to also have you come up so we can thank you. Mrs. Young is going to snap a picture so that we can have that as well, but we just want to take this opportunity. I will scan you the copy of the proclamation in case you'd like to read it in its full capacity. But we just want to let you know that we really appreciate everything you do for us, and we know that it's a lot of hard work to keep up with all the things going on in the school, as well as all the other obligations you have in the community. So I'm going to start by asking our student board member to come up. And then we'll just kind of keep you right here so we can do a picture all together, so.
All right.
Thank you, Hayden.
Thank you.
There you go. School board recognition. There we go. And Leanna Krotzer. Thank you, Leanna, for everything you do for us. Mr. Deal.
Appreciate it.
New, but.
New.
Mr. Youngberg is with us on Teams, so thank you, Mr. Youngberg. We'll save your certificate for you. And Mr. Thomas? I'll shake your hand. You want to try to get this feeling heard? There we go.
Thank you so much.
And then Nicole. I know, thank you, Nicole. We'll get at me. Yeah, it's okay. Some pictures, right?
All right, 1, 2, 3. Good.
Thank you. Thank you, I had moved on right past that. Will be for everybody to share. Okay, and then the last thing I'd like to share is an update about the PLU program, which is the Pacific Lutheran University. There is a program that allows us to have direct admission into PLU, and every year they send us a report on the number of applications who have applied, the number of people who filled out their FAFSA, some information about GPA, merit scholarships, and all those lovely things. But we did want you to know that we had 7 students who applied at Pacific Lutheran University. We have been fortunate to have grant money from the Gates Foundation to, not just us, but the entire area, through the West Sound Tech area, to provide opportunities for education, to understand like how important the FAFSA is to fill out. And so in order to get any type of merit scholarship, it's required that students fill out that FAFSA report. But we are just really proud of our students and appreciate the partnership, not just with Pacific Lutheran University, but Central Washington, Olympia College. We're very fortunate that we have so many institutions around us. But this is a great opportunity for our students, and we're thrilled that students take advantage of it, in addition to college and the high school and Running Start and some of the other things. So.
Okay, so the next thing on our agenda is there was an inconsistency that was found in the superintendent's contract. We had 2 different amounts of vacation days listed, and so we need to vote to formally resolve this inconsistency. And so both sections that talk about personal leave or vacation leave should have listed 32 days. And so if I can get a motion to correct the inconsistency in the superintendent contract.
What were the days of the inconsistency?
One said 30, one said 32, and they should both say 32.
Okay, I move that we correct the superintendent's contract for vacation days from 30 to 32 days.
Is-
And this is in lieu of any personal days.
Right, there's not additional days, it's all together. Is there a second?
I second that.
Okay. Any discussion? All right. Student representative.
I think it was just my
Okay.
friend.
Student Representative Thomas, your advisory vote? All right. Directors, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that unanimously passes, so we will correct that inconsistency. All right, and then we have Assistant Superintendent King bringing us a budget update.
Good evening, Board, and thank you for your service. So I have our budget status report through December 31st, 2025. And there you can just see our budget as we approved it in August. Let's go on to the next slide. I want to give you an update on our monthly revenues and expenditures in December. So December was a 9% apportionment month. Next slide, yeah, that one. So our revenues there are $3,582,510. Expenditures were $3,663,617. And the revenues, the expenditures exceeded the revenues by $81,107. And next slide, please. So here, this is a cumulative for our budget, revenues, expenditures, and fund balance through December. So our year-to-date revenues through December were $13,695,611. Our year-to-date expenditures, $15,231,056. Our fund balance at the end of December was $1,869,060. And that put us at a fund balance percentage of 4.41%. Next slide, please. This is just a visual to show what I just went over on the previous slide. So you have each month there, and you have our revenues, expenditures, and fund balance as we go through the year. Next slide, please. So this one right here, this is a new slide. It was not in our previous presentation. This is our fund balance. So from September through December, those are actual fund balance amounts. In the blue, we're looking at the blue for this current year. And the other color, and I'm sorry, I can't tell what color that is from here. Is it gray? Okay. The gray is last year for comparison. Last year was all actual because the year was completed. So in December, again, our fund balance at the end of the month was, in the general fund, was $1,869,060. And a year ago, it was $750,000. So that's, that's good that our fund balance is better than it was a year ago. We still, though, would like to see our fund balance to be a lot more robust than it currently is. And also, you can see, looking at June, going forward as a projection in the blue, we're projecting a negative fund balance of $165,180 from the information we have through December. That's going to be a moving target, but obviously it's a concern. And if you're on the board last year, you saw that we had a similar concern, although it was a much bigger negative number. A year ago, when we were looking at this number, well, last February when we were looking at this number, it was $1.5 million below zero. And we were able to move it up and through different interventions and cost cutting and things like that, and also borrowing money from other funds and putting them in that fund temporarily. So we'll be discussing that a little bit in a moment here. But we definitely are keeping an eye on that because we want to make sure that we have enough cash in the bank for all of our payroll and accounts payable. Again, September through December are all actuals, and everything to the right of that through August are all projections. Every month we're going to see those numbers change as we make adjustments and as our revenues and expenditures adjust to the actual numbers. Let's go on to the next slide, please. So our four other funds have fund balances through December 31st. The capital projects, $116,156. Debt service fund at $1,034,842. The ASB ended with $407,346. And our transportation vehicle fund ended December with $316,120. Next slide, please. This shows our enrollment through January. TTK has stayed consistent at 34, and that's our cap. Elementary enrollment was at 946.3. Now, this is our January count, by the way. Middle school, 478.77. High school at 627.8. Our ALE count was 114.52. Running Start at 75.58. With a total enrollment of 2,276.97. And moving on, this just shows our enrollment. The red bars are the actual counts, and the blue is our budgeted. So, I'm sorry, the other way around. Our budgeted is in the red, and the blue is the actuals. So you can see our actual is just under what we budgeted. Visually, you can see that. The actual number is a little over 58 students, almost 59. That 59 students, so we have budgeted a higher enrollment than it actually is, actually amounts to a little bit over $1 million. And the number more specifically is 1,024,000. So that's part of the reason why we need to make adjustments going forward. In addition to the double levy failure. Are there any questions?
Questions? I did want to point out a couple of things, or just a reminder for our community, that our policy previously said that we should have an ending fund balance between 8% and 10%. And in order to save some money, because of the levy failure, we voted to bring it down to 4 to 6%, with the intent that when we pass the levy, we need to bring it back up. We need to have enough cash, as you said, to pay the bills, especially payroll. So again, I just really hope that we pass the levy, but also that people understand we are going to be putting some money in another fund because we need to replenish that. And that is not uncommon for districts to do. We are not the only district that has had to do that because of rising costs and lower enrollment. So we are also not the only district that is facing some challenges when it comes to enrollment. A lot of students are withdrawing from the public school system, either to private school or homeschooling. And so this is not unique to North Mason, but with a double levy failure, it's definitely concerning. So I just wanted to point that out for our community. Any questions? Okay. Thank you so much.
We did the meeting at the beginning of the month in December. So
Oh, yeah, it has been.
Been a while.
Yeah.
it's good to see you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. King.
You're welcome. And would you like me to stay to talk about the two
Yes.
resolutions?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so tonight we have two different board resolutions related to finance that I would like to present to you for approval. The first one, it's Resolution 01-G-26, and this is an emergency declaration for repair funds. And what this is the state of OSPI has a budget for, they call it the emergency repair pool. This is for school districts that have a dire need to replace some infrastructure and that don't have the funds to cover the costs. And we've used this 3 times already in the past couple of years. As a matter of fact, last year we used this emergency repair pool grant to replace the PA system at Sand Hill Elementary School. Well, now we like to apply, and we do have pre-approval, and it should be approved fully once we have a resolution to turn in, to repair the public address system at Belfair Elementary. The PA system is a critical system within a school for communicating just general information as well as in the event of an emergency. And the system at Belfair Elementary School is very old, and despite the technical expertise of our maintenance and IT department, they are unable to repair it. They have given it a good try many times. Part of the reason is it's what we have is obsolete and not all the parts are available. So this declaration is asking the school board to approve a request that we would submit to OSPI for $121,134.69 in emergency repair pool funding. Now, why that amount? We received some bids, and this is the amount of what we feel the cost will be to stay in line with what was bid. So I don't know that I need to read the entire thing for you, but this is to ask the school board to approve a process in which I would then go ahead and finish the application with OSPI. Once they grant us approval, we'll go ahead and get our contractors working on the project, and we will walk through that project timeline with them so that it would have the least impact on student learning, the least amount of disruption to the school day. And so that is a goal of ours, but also it is a goal of ours to get it done as fast as possible because they badly need this PA system to be working. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Well, because I'm new and don't understand anything, maybe an obvious question, maybe the community would want to know this too. Is this something we have to pay back eventually, or is this
Great
just-
question. This is actually a grant. It's not a loan. And it's not a grant that's in the grant system, EGMS, the Educational Grant Management System. This is basically, they put the money in our apportionment. It's a capital grant, so it's specifically used for capital upgrades and repair. And we do pay the invoice, and then we get reimbursed for it once we show the invoice and that we've made the payment.
Thank you.
Good question.
Good question.
Mhm.
Any other? Okay. All right, is there a motion to approve Resolution 1G26, Emergency Declaration Repair Funds as presented?
I move that we approve Resolution 1G26, Emergency Declaration, as presented.
Is there a second?
I second that.
Any discussion?
I just think from a safety standpoint, I'm just grateful that you and your team are jumping on this to make this happen. I mean, just in the last year alone, we've had so many, I mean, even tonight, there was an incident directly in front of the school. And until we can work something out for the future of that school, we need every dollar we can get, so thank you.
Yes.
Anything else? Okay, Student Representative Thomas, your advisory vote? All right. Directors, all in favor of approving Resolution 1G26, Emergency Declaration Repair Funds as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Resolution has passed. Well, Resolution 1G26 has passed. Would you like to speak to the next resolution?
Yes, thank you, Board. So this is Resolution 2-G-26, transfer of interest earned from the debt service fund to the general fund. So RCW 28A.320.320 allows the district to transfer investment earnings from our debt service fund into our general fund, not as a loan, but to be used there in that fund, specifically for instructional supplies, equipment, or capital outlay purposes. Capital outlay would be big ticket items. And as you saw with our general fund balance, and that we have a diminishing fund balance, and we're projected to be below zero fund balance in June. This is one of our interventions, one of the action steps we are taking to bring that fund balance level up higher. So currently we have earned $33,329.48 in the debt service fund between September 1, the first day of the fiscal year, and December 31. We anticipate that we will probably earn another $60,000 in addition to this by the end of August. So roughly $90,000 that we can transfer from the debt service fund into the general fund for operational costs that I had stated. Our debt service fund has a fund balance of $1,034,841.66. We also have certified with the county to collect for our bond $3,422,776.45. And so by transferring this interest, it will not jeopardize our ability to pay off our voted and non-voted debt. With this debt service fund interest earned, it is tracked and documented and recorded for auditing purposes. And it is explained in our notes, in our financial statement, the F-196, just as we had done last year. So our 2024-25 notes to the financials has a whole section on interfund transfers. And so it's very transparent. We are explaining very clearly in an open board meeting, but as well as in our financial statements, that we are approving this process and that we are documenting it and for the purpose of ensuring that our fund balance in the general fund is as healthy as possible, and that we're using these funds as they're meant to be used for supplies and operational costs. Do you have any questions?
I think, would this qualify as looking under every rock, what we heard earlier from Dr. Michael?
Yes.
Okay.
And I also want to add that Dr. Michael and I are working with our ESD partners in making these kinds of decisions and putting these kinds of interventions in place. And they are really our support, our local support before we go straight to OSPI to say we have a problem. So we're partnering with the ESD, the financial experts there, and this is one of the strategies that they recommended, and that's why we did this last year. So.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve Resolution 2G26, transfer of interest earned from the debt service fund to the general fund as presented?
I move that we approve a resolution 2G26, transfer of interest earned from the debt service fund to general fund as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Okay. Student Representative Thomas, your advisory vote? Directors, all in favor of Resolution 2G26, transfer of interest earned from the debt service fund to general fund, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, seeing that there's none opposed, the resolution passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so next we have a legislative representative report. Director Youngberg has been out of town, so I believe Dr. Michael is going to share some tidbits with us.
Yeah, so, this is a very short session for our legislative branch. It's only 60 days long. It runs from January 12th through March 12th. I'm sure if you've heard any of the news reports or read any of the news, we're all very aware that there's a budget shortfall at the state level, which will lead to cuts or possible considerations for tax revenue, or additional revenue. I know that from WASA, which is one of our state organizations, they are keeping their legislative priorities the same as the last session, which are in the buckets of materials, supplies, and operations, or what is called MSOC, fully funding special education, and trying to fix the pupil transportation formula. So the different state organizations have been working together to ensure that their priorities are aligned, but they are calling them the big three, and they are continuing to focus on that. There are still some other bills that are still alive, but as Governor Ferguson announced, his operating budgets would be for cuts only with no new revenue. And they have a lot of hard work to do at the legislative branch before they can go forward with the budget. So I don't think that there's really anything that I'm aware of that has come up from new bills. I know that there were some possible new bills that had been kind of floated out there around like salary allocation and school director compensation and levy equalization, but no action at this point.
Okay, thank you. All right, next is our WIAA report, which is the Washington Interscholastic Activities Association, and Vice President Thomas is our rep. Have anything to share?
Yeah, so this is a fairly new thing to me, and also something I picked up is as part of that role through WASA, I've also joined the Interscholastic Activities Committee, which is a non-voting group for WIAA, but we provided an advisory vote. So essentially, right now, in a typical year, there's about 12 amendments out there for the WIAA. This year, we've got 37. And just to give you an idea, some of those things are fairly pedestrian, talking about rules, fines, etc. Some are a little more hot button that I'm sure you'll see in media, etc. But as part of that IAC or that Interscholastic Activity Committee, what we do is on March 17th, we'll have another meeting where we will go over all 37 of those and talk about them in detail. At that point, then we will reach out to our director areas to essentially receive an advisory vote from each of the school boards in our director area. And then on March 15th or 17th, around then, we will actually convene and kind of have a tabulation of those advisory votes. And then from that point, we will provide that to WIAA for their consent and consideration when making their final votes for that. So right now, it's in the preliminary stages, but through February, I'll be making calls to our constituents to find out what their thoughts and feelings are for that. So, and if there's anybody in the community that has questions or thoughts on any of those amendments that are available on the WIAA website, please feel free to contact me. So.
Okay. And there are some amendments that have been put forth by districts that go against state law, correct? So
Yes.
even if school boards said, yes, we want this amendment to go through, it doesn't mean it's going to happen if it goes against state law. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I'm going to fervently ask that someone make a motion for a 5-minute recess.
I move that we make a 5-minute recess happen.
Is there a second?
I second that.
Any discussion? All right. It is 7:17. I'm going to eat as much as I can. In 5 minutes, we will reconvene at 7:22.
Very good.
Sounds like.
We have a quorum. Yep. All right, our 5-minute recess has ended. Since we have a quorum, we're going to go ahead and continue. Director Kratzer should be here shortly. All right. So we do not have any monitoring reports, which is the next thing on our agenda. So we will skip that, which moves us to policy review. ER5 budget execution and ER08 communication and counsel to board. Is there any discussion and or revisions that anyone would like to make? No? Okay. All right, so now move to public comments. Any signups? All right, no signups. So good of the order. I'll start with Student Representative Thomas. Did you come up with anything?
I mean, this is a little broad, but I've been doing Running Start. This is my first year doing Running Start over at OC, and I've been able to talk to a lot of other Running Start students, not only from our school, but other schools, and I'm just like really thankful for the opportunity that it gives us students to kind of get ahead and get a college education, and adds a lot of flexibility. So I'm just really thankful for that. I think it's helping a lot of kids out.
Great. No, thank you for sharing. And thank you for talking with other students, getting their input too. Appreciate that. Okay. All right. We'll start down the line. Vice President Thomas.
For the good of the order, you know, I'm probably stealing some other board members' thoughts here, but I loved our young leaders in their presentation tonight. I wish they could have hung around just a little bit longer, but they have
busy schedules to get to. So just really appreciated. One of the things that jumped out to me was they're talking about, at their age, focusing on talking to others and solving problems. I see them at this level. I see that in the community. I see this on a national level as being something that if we could just continue to instill that in our youth and in our dialogues to talk to each other and find ways to solve problems. I just see so many good things that can come from that. I've seen that in this board. I've seen that, whether it be the levy, I've seen that with teacher discussions just throughout the community. So just appreciate those young leaders and their mentors and their the program that made that possible, and their parents taking a little time to support them tonight too. So.
Thank you. Director Kratzer?
It's been a really exhausting couple of weeks. Funerals, working in the community, working in food outreach, and taking on a nonprofit and making that work and making it my own through a 501c3 will be an interesting thing. But I wanted to highlight that our local Belfair Community Church has not only the showers on Thursdays for people in the community, but they are opening very, very soon. They just got the fire department's okay. Maybe they're a day away from a cold weather shelter, and we haven't had one here since the hub was over here, right? Or since we had the Theller Center actually open for it years and years and years ago. So they'll be doing that, and that's the first one we've had in a long time. And the closest one for here is for Mason County is Shelton, although we have a lot of Kitsap County areas that are open, but you can get a shuttle out that way. And so I'm hoping that we can help to reserve a shuttle somehow to pick up the people that need to be there. And it's not just for people that do not have homes. It's for people that don't have adequate heating in their house. And so they'll have food and they'll have everything there. But they do need volunteers ahead of time. So anybody wants to volunteer to go there, please do. It's a neat experience, so.
Thank you so much. Dr. Veal?
Yeah, I love what Nick said. That was a wonderful presentation. They mentioned public speaking. That is not easy for anybody to do. And for them to come in and stare without staring at them and give such a great presentation was fantastic. And then I'll kind of tie it in with them. I think it was last week. Everything blurs together. But I think it was last week. The basketball team had Pee Wee night at the gym, and I think probably most of those girls were there, and every other Pee Wee player here in town was at the basketball game. So I just think there's, high school basketball, high school football, high school sports in general get a lot of attention, but there's a lot of great youth programs too that are doing a lot of great things. Those kids are rushing off to go play basketball tonight. So just want to highlight and recognize those programs as well, and the great leaders that are there running those teams and building community support and building up our schools as well. And then as well as what he said, I have a son who's doing Running Start as well. So thank you for mentioning that. It is a great program, and he's loving it and learning and growing. So yeah, I agree with that too.
So yes, the Sandhill presentation was wonderful. It's great to have the students come in and be the, for lack of a better word, evidence of the great programming and the great staffing we have. Speaking of basketball, we had a student athlete, Cameron Riveles, who achieved, he's in 12th grade, and he achieved 1,000 points in his high school basketball career. And this comes after Andrew Latrine last school year, who also hit that marker. And so we just are producing some wonderful student athletes, among other programs and other activities as well. But I wanted to congratulate him because I think that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I also want to thank Principal Klessman at Belfair. I was behind that accident on Highway 3 right at the school this evening, which is why my husband had to bring me dinner, because I was like, I'm not going to make it home and back to the meeting in time, so I just came straight here. It was definitely scary, and I'm so glad that the driver is mostly okay. But Principal Klessman heard that all the way up in the building and came running down as we were all gathering, and she stayed until the sheriff came and the EMTs, and the family next door ran out and brought the driver some water. And I mean, it's just looked a lot scarier than I think it ended up being, but it was just so, again, fantastic to see our community and our school staff come together. And I know that it made horrible traffic for a lot of people, including probably some of our bus drivers, but it was nice to see in a moment of small crisis, people come together. So, Dr. Michael, did you have anything to share?
Yeah, I just wanted to highlight that the application for our ambassador program is still open, and we'll be sharing out, but we have come up with the topics that we're going to focus on each month. So in March, we're going to be doing a dive into finances, school finances. April's meeting will focus on academics. May's meeting will focus on student support services and programs with a June wrap-up. So that application, we'll be sharing it again through social media, hoping to get a few more people either in the community or anyone with a child in the school district. We welcome that involvement. And then this Thursday is Soup with the Soup. So at 11:30, we will be having a soup lunch and invite anybody who wants to attend. We've had some good RSVPs. So Jackie has been collecting those for us. So if somebody's listening and would like to attend, please just give us a call. We'd love to have you. We can still make that work for Thursday, and that's at 11:30 here at the board office. And that is it.
Okay. So Vice President Thomas, our self-assessment of the meeting.
Yeah, for the self-assessment, there's been a few times where we've kind of gone through these and just kind of grouped them together. This being our first meeting of the year on the second section of governance principles, I would just kind of like to read those out a little bit more for some of our community members that may not know what the board self-assessment is. But for the general meeting behavior, I found us to be satisfactory. For the governance principles, I just wanted to review these real quick. Number one, board actions occur at the policy level rather than at the operational level. I felt that we were a yes. The board reviews policy about each topic before discussing that issue. That was an answer as the yes. In writing additional policies, the board starts with broad statements and becomes more detailed in a logical and disciplined sequence. When that occurs, that is yes. That is not applicable for tonight. The board minimizes time spent monitoring past performance. That is a yes. The board routinely dedicates time to reviewing and improving its own process. That is a yes. The board clarifies priorities, values when considering potential outcomes, beneficiaries, and costs of outcomes. That is yes. The board follows an annual calendar based on a plan for doing its work. That is a yes. The board chair helps the board efficiently conduct its meeting, and that is a yes. The board spends most of its time deliberating issues, defining and clarifying its vision, and linking with its community as opposed to fixing things, and that is a yes. And the board supports the superintendent in any reasonable interpretation of its policy, and that is yes. And I found that we were overall satisfactory for this meeting.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, so our next board meeting will be at 6:30 p.m. on February 23rd here in the boardroom. However, I do want to point out that we will have a special meeting on February 9th, 6 p.m., and then we will follow that with a study session that we believe will be at 6:30 p.m., but that one we don't have a definitive start time. We will soon, though. All right. So, in accordance with RCW 42.30.110, the board will adjourn into an executive session for approximately 30 minutes for the purpose of discussing the superintendent's mid-year evaluation. No action will be taken as a result of this executive session. So we will be in executive session until 8:03. If we need further time, we will come back out and adjust the ending time for the executive session.
And our students board member is excused.
Yes, Student Representative Thomas can leave.
Thank you.